And I want you all to hold on just 1 second, okay? We're gonna say something very, very important here, but I'm gonna count to 3 and we can all do it together, and I know it's silly, but I swear he'll hear it. So we have one very important person to thank for this wonderfulness that is a Horatio story, Love Thyself, and that is Frogsquadron of Amplitude Studios. He is a community manager. So on 3, say it with me, y'all. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Frogsquadron. You did it. This is freaking awesome. I'm super excited. Let's get good. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a moment that has been in the making for countless, well, I guess they're countable, but many years since Amplitude first gave us the Horatio full boyfriend joke on April Fool's Day. And I want you all to hold on just 1 second, okay? We're gonna say something very, very important here, but I'm gonna count to 3 and we can all do it together, and I know it's silly, but I swear he'll hear it. So we have one very important person to thank for this wonderfulness that is a Horatio story, Love Thyself, and that is Frogsquadron of Amplitude Studios. He is a community manager. So on 3, say it with me, y'all. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Frogsquadron. You did it. This is freaking awesome. I'm super excited. I don't know what this is. I haven't even started the game yet, so we may have to move the camera around, and that's fine. But I can promise you 2 things. It will be both glorious and gorgeous, because that is all that Horatio knows. Okay, let's dive in now. I'm super excited, guys. I don't normally play these games, but this is freaking hilarious. It is impossible to dissociate my story from that of Horatio, the first of our name. Okay, next. Oh, I have to click, okay. The first beings to travel widely between the stars were known as the Endless. We know of no earlier form of intelligent life that moved between galaxies. Their history is glorious, but above all, tragic. It's not glorious, for they are not Horatio. Though they unlocked the secrets of time-space, the stars, and life itself, they were unable to master their own internal conflicts. What remains now of the Endless are strange, disjointed traces in the forms of seeds, of observatories, of experiments, of cities and worlds, and perhaps, though not all of this is clear or verifiable, in the forms of other peoples. Many starfaring civilizations have since risen to the fore, some have fallen as well. Events in recent history have led to an explosion in the number of players on the galactic scene. One of these, undoubtedly a major one, is Horatio, the only one that matters. Once upon a time, Horatio was just a man, a simple trillionaire. That's so very simple, isn't it, guys? One night, a vision came to him in the shape of a dream. It was the vision of an empire and eternal life. He left everything behind, venturing through the stars. Over the ages, he discovered many of the mysteries left by the Endless, and his knowledge and power grew. He created his first sons and willed his empire into existence, a beacon of all that is brilliant and beautiful. Now the empire of Horatio flourishes, and Horatio himself is immortal, with a power to rival that of the Endless themselves. Some say that they were living gods. They are dead now, though, while we thrive through our brother, our god, Horatio. That's amazing. Go towards the light, stay in the dream a bit longer, but the dream is so perfect! I hear a beautiful song. I don't want to wake up just yet. Okay, now I have to go towards the light, I think. Well, I'm gonna stay in the dream just a little bit longer to see what happens. I hear a beautiful song. I don't want to wake up just yet. Okay, so we do have to go forward here. Go towards the light. I think I hear someone. Oh my gosh, are we being Horatio birthing potted? Lab technician, all the clones in this batch are to be decanted today. I know this is earlier than the original schedule planned for, but the schedule didn't plan for 2 patrol squads in the heartland of the Empire to go missing within a month. Just follow my lead and the procedure will be fine. If you do well today, you might be promoted to junior lab technician earlier than expected. Awesome. Oh, that's to that guy he's talking. This would be amazing, sir. Don't interrupt. Most of the process is automated, but contrarily to some of the clone hatching sequences you've seen in class, the final steps are still done by hand. Oh, why'd it go back? I must have, like, I think I rolled my mouse. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. There are procedures for which a computer cannot be trusted, and you have to rely on steady Horatio judgment. Absolutely. They must determine whether that clone is a perfect Horatio or not, because we can only have perfection in this empire. Back to our specimens. You will handle clone births, A through L. I'll do the other row. Pick one and get to work. Can you hear me? One moment I'm asleep, and the next I'm alive and perfect. My eyes struggle to adjust to the brightness of the room. It slowly comes into focus. There's a man in white and blue uniform bent over me with a bald, elongated head and a look of concern on his face. A bald and beautiful head! Hello. Ah, you're awake. Great. I have a couple of questions for you. He shoves the small holopad he's holding in my face. It's very bright, and I recoil slightly, groaning something. He starts flipping through the pages when the other voice calls out. Come over, please. I need your help. The man looks for a place to put down the holopad, then realizes his outfit doesn't have pockets big enough to accommodate it. Tengas F07, I'm talking to you. Get moving. Yes, sir, coming. He looks down at me and ends up putting the tablet down next to me. I'll be back. He trots away and out of sight. I struggle to prop myself up on one elbow so I can keep watching him. He stops at a platform some distance away, on which lies a naked man. Another uniformed man is standing nearby, looking at a side panel next to the platform. All three of them look exactly alike. Brothers? Horatio. How can I help, sir? The uniformed man points at the naked form in front of him. This clone is faulty. The lights are on, but it seems nobody's home. I try to make sense of all this. These people are clones of one another? What do you mean, sir? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? He can't hear us, but he can't respond. Something must have gone wrong during the process. On the outside, he's fine, but his motor or educational imprinting is flawed. The result is this useless Hulk. What good is it being beautiful if you can't make everyone proud? The cloning vats are near perfect, but every once in a while some other part of the pipeline produces a disgusting abnormality. Let's take care of him and chalk him up as a total loss. What do you need me to do? Simple, take his legs. The man called Tengas F07 grabs the unmoving clone by the ankles and looks at the other clone. The latter has passed his hand under the clone's arms and pulls him off the platform with a grunt. We'll put the body in the recycling chute. This way we'll get the nutrients back. Think of it as his way of contributing. Both of them tug and pull haphazardly, and before long they're panting. We can't afford to show weakness at this time, or ever. Everything and everyone is perfect and beautiful in the Horatio Empire. It's a kindness we're doing to him when you think about it. I watch as they come nearer and realize that there are about a dozen other men on the platforms. All of them are in various states of lying down or sitting up, looking at the grotesque scene with mild interest. Every single one of them is a carbon copy of the trio in front of us. I catch my reflection in a surface, and suddenly I realize I too am gorgeous. Am one of them. Sorry, I read that as the Horatio. A clone of them. A Horatio. It is a good thing we caught this now so we can fix it before the ceremony. Our records need to be perfect. Otherwise, we'll end up in a backwater station decanting only he knows what. This is a small blessing, really. For you and me, I mean. For him, not so much. The trio passes in front of me, and for a moment, my eyes lock into those of the faulty clone. Far from being dead inside, I can see fear radiating from him. He knows he's going to be killed off because he's imperfect. I sit up and try to figure out what these tests are about. I don't want to follow this guy in the recycling chutes. Every time I think about what a memory test entails, I come up with a blank. I think that's the issue right there. My body's functional, I can understand what people are saying and think, but there's nothing of the memory implants they mentioned. I'm a blank slate. Prop him up while I open the chute. Uh-oh, we're gonna get dumped, y'all. I gotta do something about this. I turn around to look at the clone next to me, who is gazing about with an air of studied detachment. Our eyes lock and his expression shifts to a scowl. I haven't done anything to deserve it, although I've been fidgeting on my platform. What are you looking at, substrate? I rummage for a good comeback. All of these guys seem to hold perfection in very high regard. I know what'll shut him right up. You're ugly! I'm just wondering whose clone you are. Surely you can't be one of us. I'm gonna go with that one. I'm just wondering whose clone you are. Surely you can't be one of us. It takes him a moment, but eventually he gets it, so he's slow, too. He reddens and mutters under his breath. It definitely doesn't sound friendly. I realize we seem to be easily provoked, and causing a scene might just be my way out. I pull my legs off the platform to do just that when I catch something about to fall off. It's the holopad Tengas F07 has left by my side. Maybe there's some information in there that'd help me cheat my way through the test instead. What should I do? Provoke a fight as a distraction, look for information to cheat on the test. Okay, so provoking a fight is honestly more likely to get you recycled in Horatio land because, like, Horatio does not fight with Horatio because Horatio is perfect and Horatio doesn't need to fight Horatio. I'm gonna look for information to cheat on the test. I'll go for the subtle approach. I sit back down and put the holopad in my lap. There are a number of tabs open: medical procedures, inventories, the news. There's a tab that seems to be a series called Forbidden Love. I press the button in front of the image and the show resumes. The sound is off, subtitles are on. I can only guess that Tengas F07 is not as studious as he appears. The show is taking place in a richly decorated room with draperies hanging off the walls, pieces of ornate furniture, elongated vases, and tall chalices. Everywhere portraits, statues, 3D holograms representing me, well, the me who's in charge. We seem really into ourselves. And right on cue, there's another me on screen. He is arguing about something with somebody we can't see. Two other Horatios come into view, one dressed as a soldier, the other in civilian clothes. The soldier is demanding a rebellion on a distant colony be met with force, while the civilian is offering a more measured approach, presenting it as magnanimous. The argument goes back and forth for a bit with the man... Sorry, guys. This is a lot of reading, and I should have thought of that. And also, I want to move something real quick, so hold on. We know for a fact that the Horatio sort of spawn in the left and right on this. Uh-oh. I just messed up something. Oh well. It'll be fine. This is fine. This is fine. Okay, so I'm gonna move the webcam up there real quick. The soldier stomps off while the other guy sticks around and shuffles closer to him. They share a quick embrace before he slinks off. Well now. I fast forward a bit. The soldier comes back in the next scene in some sort of parlor. Prime and him exchange some oblique remarks, and it becomes clear that in the shadows things are going to get pretty bad for the rebels anyway. So that's the way things are done around here. Okay. And then the soldier tears off his uniform, revealing a perfectly smooth chest. The two exchange a smoldering look, their lips meet with passion, and they fall to the ground. Oh. I hear footsteps approaching, and I swiftly put the tablet back down. Tengas F07 is coming my way. I rest my hands on the platform and do my best to look detached. I'm ready to play the part. Right. He picks up the tablet, swipes through it, then he looks up at me. Right. Okay, I'll ask you a couple of questions, just making sure everything's fine. Let's get this over with, pal. I've got places to be. Settle down, please. This will only take a moment. Looks like your motor controls are working fine. Let's tick that box and move on to the memory test. I'll make it short. What is the name of the first and foremost, our God, Creator, and benevolent leader? Horatio Prime, the big forehead in the sky, the man of my dreams. Oh, okay. So we're gonna go Horatio Prime, but I don't know if that's accurate because I think Horatio is actually considered separate from Prime because I believe Prime is just the leading Horatio at the time. Although if it's to be believed, then that is technically the original Horatio. So yeah, we'll go with Horatio Prime. Horatio Prime. Tengas F07 looks at me and nods in approval. Okay, you're officially a fully functioning Horatio. Sit tight and wait until we're done processing everyone else. With that, he moves on, taking his holopad with him. Well, that was easy. I lay back on the platform and relax. Okay, that is a terrible memory test right there. Sometime later, the assistant comes back. Thank you for waiting. I'm gonna ask you to please head to wardrobe in the next room over there, where you'll find your station uniform. Anyone will do, they're all the same size, obviously. After that, you'll be directed towards indoctrination. This will be followed by dinner, orientation, and you'll be shown to your quarters. Now, this way, please. The door to the next room opens and we step inside. There's a few tablets at the far end of the room. Uniforms are neatly stacked and folded next to one another. We look at one another uneasily until someone steps forward and grabs a uniform, looks at it warily, and puts it on. We follow suit. It is some sort of green jumpsuit with 2 deep pockets. It closes with a simple zipper in the front. The uniform is a pretty snug fit, and the fabric seems sturdy yet comfortable. I notice there are a pair of light boots under the table, so I take a pair. They're a bit tight. I put my hands in my pockets and look around me, waiting for what's next. The wait doesn't last. After a minute, another door opens. The assistant from before is holding his holopad and peers inside. Okay, well, normally there's somebody else to show you the way to indoctrination. We're a bit short-staffed at the moment, apparently. There's a grumble from my neighbors at this lack of decorum. I've lit up a path to the holoscreens. It will guide you there. Just proceed down that hallway to the concourse and follow instructions. Sorry about that. I shuffle out of the room and hesitantly walk down the hallway, hoping that I won't get lost. The others are following me, although at a distance, no one seeming to want to take the initiative. They seem to be familiar with our surroundings, but not with the layout of the station. At least none of us has to pretend. I think no one wants to be the one going down the wrong way and making a mistake in front of the others. I've seen crossroads twice and stuck to the path indicated by an arrow on the wall. So far, so good. I keep walking. The others follow. Eventually, I hear a murmur in the distance, which grows to a distinct noise as I draw nearer. I see some bright lights in the distance and a much more colorful environment. I step out onto a plaza, a cathedral of green and gold. There are columns and glass everywhere, with manicured trees and shrubs in every corner, and overhead an immense glass canopy. This must be the concourse. There are a lot of other people here, all wearing the same jumpsuits as we are, probably fresh new clones just like us. Even my jaded brethren around me are all murmuring among themselves in tones of wonder and amazement, as if talking out loud might make the wonders fade away. This way, please. The voice cuts through the noise effortlessly, and in a moment, the conversations go quiet. A Horatio has appeared on an immense holoscreen inviting us to move along. There are more holo projections in the hallways leading to, what was it, indoctrination? That sounds unpleasant. Hold on, guys, I need a drink of water. I don't normally do this much reading. I love this. So we're basically a faulty Horatio, and we're trying to survive and find love in a land of perfect Horatio, except for it honestly sounds like none of them are perfect, and all of them are afraid to be found out for not being perfect, because a perfect, you know, Horatio himself would never be afraid to lead. He would go straight down the hallway as if he knew exactly where he was going at all times, because he would know. Nonetheless, I follow the crowd. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I love this right here. That's the Horatio emblem right there, if you don't know. We meander through the corridors for a couple of minutes before we reach our destination. This is a huge room covered in rich materials, from the deep carpeting in the middle of the room to the paneled walls. There are long rows of wide, comfortable-looking seats, all facing a wall covered with an immense holoscreen. Low columns form arcades and run along the walls of the room. It's beautiful. Oh my, that suit is awesome. A Horatio in a red suit is standing with arms crossed on a low podium in front of the holoscreen, and the music kicks in. He has a look of studied annoyance on his face. Once all of us are inside the room, he speaks up. "May I have your attention, please?" The crowd falls silent. His voice carries across the room, and even from somewhere near the entrance, I can easily hear him. "Please take a seat. Go all the way through the row, don't just hog the center seats, you'll hear me just fine from the sides as well." There's a bit of a rush forward from the new clones to do exactly the opposite of that. Soon enough, a cluster of Horatios are sitting in the prime seats and preventing the rest of the file from moving along. Oh, for his sake. Go around the audience and find a seat from the other side and occupy the back and side seats if necessary. I position myself carefully in a spot at the back. I'd rather watch what's happening and do my best to blend in. The Horatio in the red outfit seems about to continue when another moves in from the shadowy arcades to the side of the room and climbs the steps to the podium. His feet echo softly on the green marble tiles. The red Horatio closes his mouth and deflates a bit. The other one is moving pretty slowly, and from the envious look of my closest neighbors, I can only imagine that it's on purpose. My tongue is not functional today. He dismisses Red with a casual gesture of the hand and a smile. Red Horatio leaves the stand. Red Horatio. With a grin, the second Horatio turns to us, his cape flowing in an emphatic demonstration that he's here and demands our attention. When he speaks, his inflections are slightly different. I surmise that he probably spends a lot of time speaking in public. Green Horatio. Thank you, second-rate Master Sergeant Extras B12. That'll be all. To each and every me, welcome to Kappa Station, finest in the cluster. Your memory imprints do not cover the last couple of decades since the last backup was distributed among cloning facilities in this quadrant. Therefore, a lot of the information you know and the things you know may be outdated. This is a crash course in what has happened while you were sleeping. Let's start with the most important thing, etiquette with regards to my person. You may address me as third rank, esteemed Grand Headmaster Radchai Eternus PO2. In settings that only comprise initiate level and above station personnel, you may call me simply Grand Headmaster or Master Eternus PO2. Wow. The bureaucracy is real, y'all. In public, you will always address me as Your Likeness. Provided that the honorifics have been properly given and received in a small setting, you may subsequently call me Sir. He pauses for a second. Now that this is covered, let us move on to secondary topics. First, your own identity. It is with great pleasure that I deem you all initiates. More specifically, your full name will be First Level Initiate Megrez, since this is your facility of origin and then your chosen name, along with your decanting birth and batch number. You are batch 21 of this administration. There is a holopad on your desk. You may use it now to approve your suggested name or pick another one. I look at the holopad resting atop the desk. The screen reads First Level Initiate Megrez Placeholdus F21. Do I really want to be called by that name? I guess Placeholdus F21 is my name now. I'm sure I can find something better. I'm sure I can find something better. I rake my mind for an idea. Could I randomly type in letters? Wait, no, I'll be stuck with that. Better find something discreet so I blend in. I press the delete button. The words enter your name appear instead. Enter your name. Okay, cool. I'm good, y'all. The screen flashes green for a second after I hit the submit key. Okay, my name is First Level Initiate Megrez Good F21 now. Hope it brings me luck. It better. The Horatio on stage must have some way of checking our progress because after a moment he continues. As initiates, you need to not address Category X personnel or unsightly species you may encounter directly. You may find the closest underling to do that for you. Be aware that there are many new species that have been added to his glorious empire. Xenuglies aside, that is amazing, guys. Xenuglies aside, there might be some more aliens around the station. Do not be alarmed, they should all be tame. Generally, the rough and unwashed masses are kept away from their betters, but several client species are permanent residents aboard Kappa Station. It is entirely possible that you'll come across some of their representatives over the course of the next few weeks. Should you need to communicate with them, they are familiar with our speech and will attempt to replicate it to the best of their ability. Most of the new species we have encountered have proven to be just as disappointing as we expected. He smirks, he flicks his wrist and pulls his belt buckle free. Well now! With a wave, the buckle lights up, revealing a small holopad. Fancy. Now for a brief overview of what has happened in the last decades. Relationships with the so-called fledgling United Empire remain very cold. Representatives from their young leader, a male human called Zalevus, have refused vassalage under the auspicious leadership of Horatio himself. Okay, Zalevus is not young unless it takes place a long time ago, so that makes us wonder about the timing of this particular game. Similarly, they have repelled violently several attempts at claiming outer planets for our empire. Proceed with caution. Relationships with the robotic insectoid hive known as the Cravers are still at an all-time low. They have eaten the last dozen envoys as well as the ships they came on. The colony of Heka was deemed lost after we had to vitrify the surface in the year 10,191 after him. I love this so much. Their strength would make a great addition to the Empire, but at this time we are not pursuing efforts any further. Similarly, we are currently not in speaking terms with the Sophon Republic. The diminutive know-it-alls have recently jumped the gun and seized the system of Ingress, and wait, this happened centuries ago. He flicks through several screens on his holoscreen in rapid succession. All this information is completely out of date. Who messed with the geopolitics database? I am surrounded by complete idiots, I swear. Never mind this. He turns off the holoscreen, sighs, then continues. I guess I will be doing this from memory. It might be a bit patchy, something that your own memories will definitely encounter too once you start living in your body for a while. Something to do with having millennia of memories of him. Moving on, you might be wondering why so many of you are being decanted at... Sorry guys. At this time, and for what purpose? This station is home to Horatio Academy, where the best and brightest of his siblings come from all across the Empire for further education. The best of these, in turn, get a shot at joining the other academy, led by a Vodyani male called Isander. Okay, so this takes place during ES2, so Zalevas is old as crap, and they don't even realize that humans age, apparently, which is even funnier. Ah, the Vodyani. Life-sucking ghouls who live in gigantic space arcs and prey on the defenseless souls of our brethren. Except this Isander fellow who flew them and founded the Academy, a place that has grown into immense power. They have knowledge and mastery of dust. Your purpose, if you end up among the chosen few, is to go there and acquire some of this knowledge and power and bring it back for the glory of his empire. Finally, the why so many of you at once? Well, 2 of our exploration vessels disappeared recently. They contained the brightest minds of this generation, our best shot at getting the knowledge we are seeking. They are gone now, and just a few very short weeks before Horatio Prime himself is due to review our Academy cadets. Horatio Prime himself is coming to Kappa Station, and we have no cadets. The shame this would bring to me and to the whole station would be unbearable. Anyway, you have got about, 3 weeks to become these cadets. There will be extensive training. There will be classes. There will be etiquette courses and lessons of the latest courtly dances. There will be no failure or else. Now, if you have questions, keep them for your instructors tomorrow. Time for you to get sustenance and retire to your personal quarters. He turns away and walks out the same way he came, under the arcades and out of sight. This Eternus PO2 guy is something else. What a jackass. Guess that's how people are around here. He has a certain allure. He has a certain allure. I mean, he is Horatio, guys. If I understand him correctly, I have 3 weeks to not only pass for a normal Horatio, but to become an outstanding specimen worthy of sending on to steal secrets from a powerful alien entity. Gotcha. People have already started getting up when the others come back. Master Sergeant something something, I believe. Attention, please. You are now going to be provided with dinner. Follow me to the mess hall. Without waiting, he turns around, walks down the podium, and off into the direction opposite the one we came. My brethren and I quickly follow. Finally, we get there. Compared to the concourse... Gross, look at that. That just looked nasty. That just looked nasty. Compared to the concourse and the room we were just in, this is a rather drab place. Somehow halfway between a spaceport and a hospital. It doesn't look like a place to enjoy dinner as much as a place to eat. A place to feed oneself. Some of my, I guess, classmates are already in line, and a few have already sat down to eat something I can't quite identify. I have decided to say classmates, since I can't settle on whether we should be feeling any kinship towards one another. It does feel strange to hear brethren every other sentence, and I guess calling us cadets might be getting ahead of myself yet. The headmaster's speech didn't really help normalize the situation, really. Oh. Yeah, he does double really there. Okay, see, I'm not the only one that does stuff like that, guys. Horatio does it too, which means I'm perfect. Someone bumps into me and I realize I'm holding up the crowd. I get in line. I grab a tray and slide it on the rail. There are some odd kitchen utensils available, but I'm not sure what purpose they serve, so I compromise by taking a spoon from the lot. Upon closer inspection, I realize it's a spork. The future looks amazing. That's a great line. I look up at the people serving us food. They are all Horatios too, wearing some sort of jumpsuit and looking pretty upset to be here. One hands me a bowl of something I don't quite recognize, serving me a mean look at the same time. Well then. I'm surprised by the direct eye contact, and before I know it, I'm saying, hello, thank you. The Horatio lunch person is surprised as I am and frowns before saying back, ah, hello, enjoy your food. I've never seen anyone be so begrudging in saying thank you. Unfortunately, guys, as exciting and fun as this has been, we will not be able to stay here and eat the goop because we are out of time for this episode. Of course, we will be continuing this. This series is going to replace Sekiro because Sekiro wasn't really something you guys seem to be interested in. So this is something we're going to do anyway. I hope you guys are interested in it because I freaking love it. We have been waiting years for this. If you're in the Endless community, you have been waiting years for this. Enjoy it. I know I am. Thank you guys for watching. If you think Horatio is perfect too, click that like button. And if you want to see more of our great content on the channel, ranging from 4X's to Fire Pro Wrestling to now dating sims, go ahead and click subscribe down there and make sure to ding that bell notification because every time you ding that bell notification, another Horatio escapes the recycling bin. Thank you guys for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!